Hello everyone, this is Mrs. G. I'm going to talk to you guys today about volume. Okay, we're going to continue to talk about this idea of three-dimensional space. We've talked about surface area, which is the outer wrapping of a three-dimensional figure, but now we're going to talk about this new kind of concept of volume. It shouldn't be too new because we've probably talked about it in either math classes before or in science class. Before we get started, as kind of a warm-up, what I want you to do, since you're on your computers, is in a second, pause the video and open a Google image search. So images.google.com, and just type in volume and see what kind of pictures come up. I want to see kind of what you guys think about as the visual representation of volume. Like, draw a picture. So the very first thing I want you to do right now is just pick one of those images online and draw a picture what really speaks to you as far as volume. Okay, so doing just that, go to your image search. Oops, I'm sorry, that's not exactly it. But, type in something like, the volume here, the idea of volume, and see what you like. Okay, what kind of really helps you understand what volume is. And then come back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, hope you have at this point kind of a nice picture here. Maybe you drew something that's a bit more of the, sorry about that, a bit more of kind of the mathematical representation of understanding cubes. Maybe you drew a Rubik's Cube. Maybe you drew more like kind of a glass of water where you have some sort of kind of liquid inside, and that's the volume. It doesn't matter to me, just whatever kind of picture to start us out works. If you have your picture done, let's talk about the idea of how to calculate volume. So what's important is we're not just going to deal with these nice, pretty kind of box, rectangular prism, maybe you call it a cuboid, okay? We're not just going to deal with that sort of shape. We're going to deal with cylinders and triangular prisms, and so I want more of a general understanding. Okay, most of you probably could say, Mrs. G, volume is, length times width times height. And I would say, sure, but that only really works when you're talking about a rectangular prism. Okay, let's see if we can understand the idea of volume and how to calculate it. Basically, let's think about if we just had one row of cubes on the bottom here, just one. Okay, what would the area of this exact space be? Okay, or maybe the surface area is maybe a better word to say. How many little cubes are there, ladies and gentlemen? How many little boxes are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hopefully you can fairly easily see that there are exactly 9 boxes there. Okay, what if I take another layer? Okay, so think about it like almost like constructing a new building, and you're building each level on top of the next one. So now, how many in total do I have? I have another set of 9, that makes 18. Okay, let's do another one. Okay, just see if this can kind of visually make sense to you. Add another 9 on there. Now I have 27, right? What if I add another layer? It's like adding another floor to the building. Now I have, I guess I can move this over here. Now I have exactly 9 times. Okay, maybe you're thinking that there's a multiplication you could do here to make it go a little bit faster. You have 9 times 4. Okay, so that's 9 times 4 to give me a total volume of 36. Okay, if you add another level on, oopsie, I don't know what just happened there. Okay, if you add another level on, well, now you're at 5 kind of floors to your building. Okay, you have 5 floors, kind of think about it like that, with 9 units each. Okay, so that's now 5, which is the height. Okay, so you can think of this idea here as the height of the building. And we multiply that by what each level is made up of. And again, remember that was 9. Okay, do you see how I'm kind of trying to get at this general idea of how you could think about volume in general? Think about it just stacking up one level on top of the next level. So 9 represents kind of like the base shape, this bottom shape here. There are 9 units there. Okay, think about it like that. And then think about volume like I said, stacking up more and more layers to your building. Okay, let's get these out of there. if you have 9 square units on the bottom, and you have 5 kind of layers to them, 5 floors of them, well, now we're at a volume of 45 cubic units. Okay, could you extend this to idea of a cylinder? So now you have a circular base. Okay, but you're just adding, let me see if I can, you're just adding another one on top. You're just adding another one on top, adding another one on top. So the idea is you're finding that area of the base shape. Okay, you're finding the area of the base shape here. How many units is that? And you're multiplying it by the height. And that works for any shape. This is really important, ladies and gentlemen. The volume is really just equal to the area of the base, whatever's on the bottom, whatever's on, whatever that shape is. If it's a cylinder, well, now your base is a circle. So that's a different area. If it's a triangular prism, oopsie, that's not a good, if it's a triangular prism, well, now you're going to find the area of that base. And then all you have to do is multiply by the height of the figure. Okay, so it's the area of the base times by the height. And that works for all prisms. And you just have to understand which is the base. Okay, please, please, please take some time to write this in your notes. Okay, write this down. This is really, really key for today. That's basically our only formula for today. Excuse me. Okay, the area of the base multiplied by the height. All right, because this idea of the base is really key, I want to make sure you guys understand what the base is. Okay, so I would like you guys to take this little worksheet. Okay, you have this little sheet here. Okay, glue it into your notebook. Grab a highlighter if you don't have one. And let's highlight or color what the base is. Because you have to be careful, sometimes the base isn't exactly on the bottom. Okay, these pictures here should help. Okay, so a triangular prism always has a base. That's a triangle. A rectangular prism, cuboid, always has a base. That's a rectangle. A cylinder always has a base. That's a circle. Even if we kind of rotate that cylinder and lay it on its side. Okay, so go grab a highlighter if you don't have one, and then come back. And go ahead and highlight, pause the video, highlight the base, and then come back to me of all 9 of these shapes here. Just one shape. And if you're not sure what that looks like, basically what I'm looking for is color in that triangle. That's the base. You could color in the other one over there as well. You don't really have to. Just to understand what its shape is. The base of this cylinder here is a circle. Go ahead and do that for all of them. So hopefully you're coming back to me now. You've paused the video. And I am just kind of going in and coloring the base shapes so you guys can see kind of an answer key here. Okay, be aware the base doesn't always end up on the bottom. Okay. All right, so that's what we're looking for there. Now, let's actually go ahead and start doing some volume problems. So first, I want to find the volume of a triangular prism here. I have one example we're going to do together right there, and then I want you guys to try one in your notes. Okay, so a prism, if you haven't written this down, is the area of the base times the height. If you have time in class today, oops, I'm sorry about that. If you have time in class today, please feel free to fill this into your formula sheet. And let's look at our first prism here. This is a triangular prism because its base shape is a triangle. Okay, what I'd like you guys to do is take your time in writing down the steps here. So the formula is big B times H. Okay, big B stands for area of the base. Okay, what's the B? Well, in this case, it's a triangle. So what we write is the formula for a triangle. Base times height divided by 2. That is the area formula of that triangle. The height of the figure is 6. I might put that in right away so I don't get confused with the 2 H's. Now, next we want to substitute into the B and H. That is the base and the height of the triangle. Okay, so when we're looking for the base and the height of a triangle, remember we're looking for the 2 sides that are perpendicular to one another. Okay, you're looking for the right angle. That's really, really key in highlighting the base and the height. So 3 and 4 are your base and height. Mrs. G, does it matter which one you call the base and which one you call the height? Not really. What you're going to do next, I guess I'll change colors. 4 times 3 divided by 2 multiplied by 6. Remember that 6 is just the height of the figure. Okay, basically this first portion, this piece here, is just finding the area of that yellow triangle. And then we multiply it by the height. And that will give us the volume of the whole prism. Okay, we have a little bit of kind of PEMDAS here. PEMDAS, however you want to say it. Just make sure you're understanding the order you want to run these operations. So first we're going to do 3 times 2 divided by 2 times 6. And we're going to run the 12 divided by 2. And 12 divided by 2 is obviously 6. 6 times 6, final answer of 36. And if they don't tell us what units, we just write the word units. And what's interesting about volume, it's going to be with the exponent of 3 units cubed, because this is a 3-dimensional drawing. Okay? Take a moment and try this one. Okay, this is a cereal box. The cereal box is a really nice visual for a rectangular prism. See if you can find the volume of that one. Make sure you have the right units. I've told you it's inches. And come back to me when you're done. All right, hopefully you're back from figuring out the volume of this cereal box. And it is basically 100 inches cubed. Okay, the area of the base is a rectangle, so 5 times 2 multiplied by the height, which is 10. Okay, that one's not super duper hard. Hopefully you got 100 inches cubed. Let's try one more example, and then I think I'm going to let you guys try some work on your own. Now we're looking for the volume of a cylinder. Okay, here we have a cylinder. Okay, don't get overly confused here. It's the same idea. Big B times H. Volume is equal to the area of the base times the height of the figure. Okay, in this case, the base is what, everyone? It's a circle. Okay, so we need the area of that circle for the big B. Okay, again, just refer to your formula sheet. You don't have to memorize these formulas. Okay, you're going to have this for your test. The area of a circle is pi times r squared times the height of the figure. Okay, and now we just substitute in what we know. I'm going to leave pi here for a second. The radius, that's 4. Remember, radius is halfway over. Okay, so that's 4 squared times the height of the figure, which is 10. And now it's just some PEMDAS or PEMDAS. 3.14 times 4 times 4 is 16 times 10. Okay, it's okay to pop over and grab a calculator at this point. That's just fine. Remember, you can do any multiplication in any order. 16 times 10 is just 160. So I'm going to do 160 times 3.14. Okay. And that gives me 502.4. This is in centimeters to the third. Okay, centimeters, that little cube, that little, not physical cube, but the exponent of 3 goes on the units. 502.4 centimeters cubed. Okay, if that didn't make sense to you, just go back and watch it again. Sometimes you need to watch it one more time to get all the little nuances. If you're ready, give this one a try. Okay, same idea. The volume of the cylinder. The only tricky bit here, be careful, Mrs. G has given you not the radius, but the diameter. So you might need to figure out what r is equal to. Give it a try, give it a go, and come back. Hopefully you're back from doing this volume problem. I'll show you my working out here. Okay, start with writing. And notice, ladies and gentlemen, there's a lot of work Mrs. G has written down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines. You should not be trying to do all this in your calculator. You have to show me some work because these are long problems. You know, you're not going to be able to look at it and know what to do. It's part of growing up as a mathematician. Write your work, show me your steps, show yourself your steps. So we start with the formula. Area of the base times the height. Big B, remember, stands for the area of the base. The base could be a different figure in a circle, or I'm sorry, in a cylinder, it's a circle. So the big B is pi r squared because that is the area of a circle, pi r squared. Times height, because that's just part of the formula. The radius is 8. Good, good, good. Hopefully you figured out that if the diameter given to me is 16, well then the radius, sorry that's ugly, has to be equal to 8. So I plug in 8 here. 8 times 8 I have to do first. Okay, in this step here, I have to run my exponents or indices before I can run my multiplication. So 8 times 8 is 64. I can multiply all three of those numbers. Remember, you could just use 3.14 for pi. You could use the pi button, but our rounding is going to be a little bit different if you use the pi button. 3.14 is fine. 3.14 times 64 times 21, 4,220 and 1600ths. Okay, if that didn't make sense, just go back and watch it again. That's what I want you guys to learn today. Okay, the volume of prisms. The volume of prisms. And remember, it's really just the idea of area of the base multiplied by the height. The area of the base could change. If it's a rectangle, it's going to be length times width. If it's a circle, it's going to be pi r squared. If it's a triangle, it's going to be base times height divided by 2. Okay? You guys can do this. It's okay. Okay, your homework is only 5 questions. Okay, 3 fairly quick little diagrams. And then 2 little story problems. Okay, you should have this little chunk of paper. Also glue that into your math notebook and give these problems a try. And let me know if you have any questions, okay? Good luck, guys. You can do it. Have a great day. Mrs. G is out.